Yo, GM. I'm sure it's morning for somebody in here. If we've got our Aussies in the crowd, then it definitely is. You guys deserve the GMs too. Um, but it is another day, another space. We are keeping this rolling. Like I said at the beginning of the month, I'm going to do these every single day until the stonks hit their all-time high. One way or the other, we're going to manifest it. Hey, Bitcoin right now doing honestly exactly what I thought it would be doing as far as the day goes, right? Like I'm pretty hyped about where we're heading right now as far as that price action. And I'm definitely pumped about the stonks too. We've spent a lot of time at a bunch of different spaces recently, met a bunch of different people throughout the. And by the way, if you're in the crowd and you want to speak and come up on stage, request. We'll bring you guys up here in just a bit. Yeah, always enjoy meeting new people up here. So definitely make sure to hit that request button if you want to come up on stage with us. 80s, my man, you said this is your fourth space of the day. How are you doing?
I'm a zombie right now, but I'm here, man. I want to vibe with you guys. I'm having a good time. Got a big smile on my face. I'm absolutely fucking burnt out, but tomorrow I'm taking the day off. I'm resting, and we'll get some balance going. So,
Bro, I won't even like I feel you 100% because I'm that same way right now. Like I was up until basically 4 a.m. last night. And then I slept in until, 10 or 11. And I've just been like, I've got a little bit of a headache and it's an exhaustion headache. Like it definitely is. That's why I went ahead and I did take just a small gummy a little bit ago. We'll see if that ends up helping here a little bit later into the space. If I end up going AWOL, and you
let's
guys
go.
know why. Um, but yeah, man, so it's gonna be a fun space tonight, one way or the other. We're gonna keep it rolling, man. So, Rooster, how about you? I saw you were just in another space, also.
Yeah, it's my oh man, I've been listening to people talk all day long, man. It's also my fourth space. Had a phone call with my mom for like 2.5 hours. Um, so yeah, it's been a great day. Just minted some art that looks pretty fire. Hasn't revealed, so we'll roll the dice, but I do like the art, so we'll see.
Kaleo, I'm not gonna leave you hanging there. I just rolled one up too, so we can get the vibe rolling, right?
Oh,
Love to hear it.
I can accidentally leave my mic unmuted again and rip the rip the bomb.
Wait, what happened with you guys? Got to tell me the story. Did I miss that?
No, yeah, it was like in a few spaces ago. I don't know,
He was ripping the
honestly. Yeah,
bomb.
they all blend together at this point. But yeah, I thought I was muted and I wasn't. And someone goes, "Was that a bong rip?" Yes, it
It's a
was.
it's a it's a well deserved night to get the vibes right, man.
Yeah.
We had an amazing space today. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to it yet, Kaleo, with Bolt today. So whenever you get the time, man, check that out.
Will do, man. I'm typing out a thing right now for the space to announce it. I like that we've got 70 people in here, and I haven't really even tweeted out that we started yet, so it's not bad. And we're back. Give me 1 second. All right, it is done. It's sent out. And yeah, man. So I've been there before, Rooster. I won't lie. There have been a couple times where I've left myself muted and I've taken a shit during a space, and like I just sit there during that moment, and I'm like, man, and like the entire time I'm looking at the mute button, and I know I'm muted, but in the back of your head, you still just feel completely exposed, even though nobody knows what's happening. Like, it's only happened a couple times, but there are a couple times where nature calls and, you're on hour number 4 or 5, whatever it is. You don't want to stop. So you do what you have to do.
Got to put in the hard work, brother.
That's it. We got a new person up on stage. Actually, a couple new people. So I'm going to go to Slickfro first. Slickfro, welcome up here, man. How is it going? I see you rocking that Pablo's.
What's going on? Didn't think that you know about Pablo's.
Well, I know about a lot of random stuff, but you also have in your, in your bio, CPO Pablo Soul. So just kind of made the assumption too, ended up clicking.
That's some good research. Yeah, Pablo's is if you don't know about it, um, it's a meme culture that kind of is born into has been created into a brand. We're actually launching our cannabis brand in New York this weekend. So big things happening over at Pablo's.
So a cannabis brand? No way, man. Like that is, talking about marketing and utility for I guess it's spot on if you're a meme collection.
Yeah, totally. I think Pablo's works really well with the industry as well. Um, and yeah, I think it suits well to the NFT community. There's a lot of people that use cannabis, and I think it's also an emerging market, just like Web3. So to be on the ground floor in New York City is huge for us going into the cannabis market. And yeah, I think in terms of utility, that's going to all come back to holders of Pablos through a new NFT we're going to launch soon called LFP, which stands for Let's Fucking Pablo.
You gotta love it. I definitely respect being unique with that. It's definitely something different. We got a couple other people that are up here new to the space, new to the stage that I want to shout out first. So I'm going to kick it over to RK3 Saucy, who's a crypto and stock trader. Ben and Dover, if your purpose was to get me to read that, you got me to read it.
Yo,
How's it going?
nah, that wasn't my purpose. It's just I put it there because it was funny, actually. But yeah. So I was wondering what like your view is, pretty much on Bitcoin overall, because I am long it as well, and also like I'm a decent trader, like with outs and stuff and low caps. So I know like you said something probably like the liquidity or whatever for outs would get sucked out and kind of like migrate to Bitcoin. Because I saw something about the Bitcoin Ethereum chart, but like I don't really know how that one works with like outs and stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy to talk about it. So again, if you're new to the space, I talk about literally everything in this space, whether it's
Oh,
whether it's freaking trading, whether it's NFTs, whether it's whatever the topic is, we just go through whatever. So I'm obviously happy to talk about Bitcoin right now because dude, looking at it, I'm hyped. I'm as bullish as I've ever been, honestly, and not from the perspective of heading to new all-time highs, whatever, but I do have a strong level of conviction, at least, in the short term, lower time frame, in the next couple of weeks. I really like everything is lined up exactly what I'm looking for a major squeeze from this level. I think that we do end up resolving quite a bit higher from here. And I think there are going to be a lot of people, if you're stuck on the sideline and there are people that are still waiting for confirmation to long or to enter a little bit higher from here, I think that we get one of those type candles where basically people don't have a chance, right? It sounds insane, but I think that we teleport basically to the 28, 30K level from here. So I don't know, man. Like maybe it's a little bit ambitious, but I really have, this is something that I've had conviction about since June or July. It's not an overnight thing. If you've been in some of my spaces throughout the past 6 months, that's one of the things that I've talked about is basically patience for right now, right? And we're here right now. And, it's all about putting the foot on the gas at the right time. I feel like right now is the right time as far as Bitcoin's concerned. But to your point, looking at it, you'll see a lot of alts right now, and I include anything that's not Bitcoin and alt. a lot of alts are bleeding versus Bitcoin, right? Like the Bitcoin dominance chart's going up. You
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever the alt pair charts are going down, like ETH BTC is really struggling right now. ETH versus BTC, I should say. So, yeah, man, you know, I think that does continue to lag a little bit, and Bitcoin kind of acts as a black hole of liquidity. But, you know, on that same note, I think that there are going to be some altcoin with picture projects that end up doing pretty well. You know, into this, it'll be interesting. We've never really had a bear market bounce like this. So it'll be interesting to watch that liquidity flow. But I think there are a lot of solid charts out there right now in the alts with pictures, aka NFTs, that could rally along with BTC. So we'll see, man. But that's kind of my, you know, minute rundown of where I think the market is right now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah, it makes sense. I was kind of feeling the same way. And then I did see, like you said, the alts kind of bleed, but even Ethereum actually a little. But Bitcoin, like I'm long, but I'm not even hurting. Like it's kind of just ranging in my opinion. That's why I don't know, like I saw on the 15-minute chart, just hit a really good support and just bounced off of there pretty good. So yeah, but thank you for, answering my questions and everything. I've been following you for a minute, so appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for coming up on the stage. Always appreciate having new voices. Speaking
So
of new voices, I mean, we got a voice that's not, I don't want to say new. Shekinah's been up here before, and I hope I'm saying that right. Like, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always terrible at those pronunciations. But Shekinah's been here before. She is the legal expert in the room. So, you know, if you want free legal advice, come up here and ask Shekinah. Like, I'm sure she's happy to give it to you. You can take all of that home. You know, like anything that she says here is 100% factual advice, you know, from her and her company. That's why she's on stage right now, or her and her practice, I should say. So thank you, Shekinah. I really, really appreciate you joining us for this moment.
I came up here because I don't know, like, man, every time you tweet, like, I literally, like, I feel like I'm panicking to go and check the Bitcoin price. Like, I swear. And so I needed to come up and just tell you that. Like, but I wanted to ask you, kind of similar to what the guy before me, kind of asked you about, what do you, I mean, can you give a little more explanation around the recent tweets today around, like, the 30K? And what you mean by that? And then what are your thoughts on, like, I think next week is like the Fed will have like their announcement. So what do you think could happen around that time? Like obviously not financial advice.
You know, this will be as much financial advice as you're going to give legal advice on this stage. So, you know, if you're in the audience and, you know, you'll just take that for what you will. But you know, what I really look at it right now for is I'm looking at where we have an incredibly similar structure to where we were with the 2019 rally. You know, everything about like, you know, from the all-time high down to the base range with where we were, the decline, the formation of the base range. The only little deviation there was, you know, that FTX dip. We've already reclaimed it. And, you know, when you look at that 2019 breakout where it ended up having that, you know, 400% run from 36, well, I guess it broke out around 4K, but the lows were around 3,600, right? So, you know, it ended up squeezing from 4K to 5K. It was a 20% candle in 2 hours. Do I think that it's going to be a 20% candle in 2 hours with this? Probably not, right? Like, you know, it's more difficult to make that happen when the market cap is, you know, X amount larger. But I do think that something similar as far as that type of effect could happen from here. You know, again, you're looking at everything with the way equities are trending as well. There's some confluence there where equities right now, you're looking at, they're at an inflection point of just breaking out of this broadening descending megaphone, which is, you know, incredibly bullish structure whenever it's broken out of. So I think that, and you know, also S&P 500 right there at 4K, which incredibly important psychological resistance level. So I really think that, you know, you're going to see both equities squeezing out of that, coinciding with Bitcoin squeezing out of this high time frame trend break. simultaneously. And I think with that, you do have the potential for a similar type of move to what we saw back in that 2019 type of run, where we basically just fill the gap straight back to the Celsius slash 3AC slash Tesla selling off their Bitcoin levels right there in that 28 to 30K range. I think that we get some consolidation there, and I really think that ends up breaking higher. Still, I don't think, especially if this happens as fast as I think that it will, I think that momentum doesn't just stop. There are a lot of people that are saying, hey, that's their target. They're out at that point. I really think that the move continues to fill basically all the way up to where, the pre-Luna liquidation levels back, where we were in April, around that 40K range. So I think there's potential for a lot coming from here, but that's kind of where I am right now as far as my bullish takes. I know that there are people on the timeline that have other takes. You should always do your own research, double check, but this is something, as far as the structural setup, I have been, watching this setup for this entire bear market. And from the time that we've been in the range lows here, sub 20K, this is exactly what I've been looking for as far as, a mini, I don't want to say bull market, but kind of a mini little bull market, right? Like, bear market rally might be a more correct term because I don't think it leads to any new all-time highs or anything like that. But, it doesn't mean that we can't have fun, right? Like, if Bitcoin has a 100% rally from here, like, that would be a heck of a lot of fun, honestly, because especially after the past year that we've had. So hopefully that gives a little bit more detail about kind of the reasoning behind it.
No, it does. It does. I mean, it's just, it's such an interesting, just like market. Like I said, it's also volatile. And it's always interesting, like when people are like reading the charts and trying to predict, like what's going to happen next. It's, I don't know. I used to watch people on YouTube. So now I just listen to you. So I don't know what that says about me as a lawyer.
Hey,
but not listening to you.
That's high.
I don't know what that says
level
about
play.
me either. I'll say this: you kind of like, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses. One thing that I am strong at in trading is a trending market, and I think right now we have entered into that phase where we are trending, and I think that again, like that, like. I mean, that it's the type of market conditions where I made a name for myself back in the day. I realize and I recognize, and that's why I haven't been incredibly active the past 6 months as far as trade setups with Bitcoin, with alts, etc. Mainly because, like, you look across the board and there just wasn't a lot of opportunity in my eyes as far as, the type of conditions that I'm good at. There are a lot of level traders, that were killing it within that range. But I know my strengths and weaknesses. Whenever I try to trade within, an extended range like that, I know that I'm most likely going to chop myself to shreds. So I wait until, you start to see these type of signs that we're seeing right now. So that's why I'm hyped. It's fun again to be able to go through and, just be able to spot these setups, share these setups, and kind of get back into the old content that's been missing for the bear market. So I'm hyped.
No, I would certainly agree. The content is missing. Everyone's talking about NFTs, and it's like, can you stop talking about NFTs? Like, those are for fun, but I don't think they're the actual. They're they're not long term. Like for me. So, yeah.
Wait.
Boo.
No, they're not. I know I work in NFTs, and NFTs are like technically my livelihood. From the legal perspective, but like I'm not too bullish on like NFTs. And the reason is because, I think whatever that next wave is, I think it's going to look different. I don't think it's going to look the way that it does now. I'm not too much sold on Twitter because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think you're maybe around my age, like, and you remember like the Yahoo GeoCities days. You remember like Tumblr. You remember like with LiveJournal, and then you have like MySpace, and then I guess the Facebook. And I'm missing things in between. Social media platforms in between. And so like I just have to imagine, that something else is gonna come. Another platform is gonna pop up, and we may migrate to that. or we will be forced to migrate to that because a lot of us, at least early 2021, were on Clubhouse. And then I don't even know what happened to Clubhouse. I just know I moved to the new Twitter Spaces, and we're still here now because there
So
hasn't
let
been.
me pause you real quick. Are you bearish on Twitter or are you bearish on NFTs?
That's what I want to clarify. That's what I was
I'm
asking.
yeah, I'm bearish on NFTs in their current in their current use case. So and
Okay,
I'm meaning PFPs and I think you might agree with that.
I do.
Yeah, so
Like, I'll say that in a heartbeat. I agree completely with you there. That right now, the marketplace for the number of people that are here as far as NFT projects with PFPs is oversaturated. I mean, heck, even from an art perspective, you look at everything with the current iteration of where we are right now with NFTs. I mean, it's looking back like, look back in 2017, 2018, a bunch of the ICOs that happened there, how many of them ended up surviving to this cycle? How many were actually relevant? Same thing back, you can look at 2013, 14, 15, 16, how many of those were actually relevant, into that 2017, 28, or, late 2017, early 2018 alt rally, right? Like, there's a lot of decay across the board because a lot of them do lose their relevance with time. I think NFTs are a little bit special in the sense that, being community based, et cetera, like that. I mean, that's why the Wonky Stonks are an art project and an art project only, because I think utility focused projects are going to struggle to keep up from two aspects. One, it's incredibly hard to deliver utility in a manner that hypes up the crowd, especially whenever your project price is going down and whatever happens and you're a utility based project. Well, what is the immediate thing? It's like, okay, well, we need to change whatever the utility is, right? So I think that that's going to struggle. And, again, I agree with you. There's going to be an entire new evolution as far as what the technology for NFTs looks like heading into this next cycle, whether that's executable programs or, something we haven't even thought of yet, maybe some type of advanced DeFi integration. I think that there are, the next evolution is going to be different than what we have right now. So I think that what you're looking at as far as NFTs for what's going to be successful heading into the next market, basically only the strong survive. Only the strong from this cycle really can survive and make it through. And there are going to be a lot of casualties along the way. So I think that it's one of those things where, it depends on what your term for bullish is, because I think you're saying, should kind of like, let me get it straight. You're not saying that you're bullish or bearish on NFTs completely. You're just saying this stage of NFTs, the type that we have right now.
Exactly. Yeah. One, because as far as NFTs, I think the technology, I certainly think it has a use case. I think it will be built out. I think, like the tech will get easier and kind of like not disappear in difficulty, but like as I think as we talk about a lot, it'll get to a point where the masses, who hate it won't even know they're using the technology. But yeah, like the current iteration of it now, like I'm not long gone, and it's always hard for me to talk about it because obviously I have a clone, but it was given to me. I always say that, look, I didn't buy it. I wouldn't spend that much money. I'm sorry for anyone that's in the audience that has spent a lot of money on an NFT. But I wouldn't spend thousands of dollars, on essentially a membership, into a club. And I've always said, like, if there is some type of like bull run with clones at some future point, yes, I would sell it. And I would just get someone to draw me this clone or something similar with different clothes. And I use that as some type of profile picture on whatever platform we were on. But yeah, like but I agree. I think the biggest thing with NFTs is certainly the community. I think the community is like, I feel like the community is the value because of the people that you get to meet and collaborate with. Go ahead.
That's what I was about to ask you. So, what do you see being the transcendent meta for this cycle? What will actually be able to survive? What will make it through the next one? as everything does continue to progress, evolve, projects with more refined tech end up coming into the place, more refined, business plans, whatever it is, ends up coming into place. What do you think is the transcendent meta for a project to look at right now?
I mean, like I would be looking at projects, and I guess we call them quote unquote like blue chips. And I think I would be looking at those projects and obviously looking at who they're hiring. And so like when I think about like Yuga's like most recent hire, what is the guy from? I think Epic Games, or I think it's where he's or Activision. I think it's Activision Blizzard. I can't remember, but like a major gaming company like that. I think that's really important. That hire. I look at I think Artifact just hired. Their most recent that their most recent hire was I don't know, like someone like an animator from like Sony Pictures or something. And then we obviously see what is it like Doodles acquiring an animation studio, the animation studio that worked on like Rick and Morty. And like I think that shows just something that's major. So when I look at not only the teams, I look at their new hires. Are these people that have like Web2 traditional business experience that can actually help these startups like grow and elevate into the future, and also pivot when they need to, when the market does shift and when things do look different. I know if Debt Fellas, we just announced 3 like advisors, that have their own different areas of like expertise that can further like help us out. And while I obviously can't say too much, but we're also building out, and we have a team. And our team is primarily people that have like Web2 business experience. And I think that's really important. And so you need those type of like people on your team so that you can stick around, because, as the conversation has been within the past like month or past couple months, no project can survive on royalties. And you just can't keep minting and expecting people, to spend money, especially like in a bear market. So like, it's about who's able to be financial stable, who can pivot, who can diversify, their revenue streams, and kind of create partnerships, with, like traditional companies, like Web2 companies, and kind of build out their collector base, into the, I don't want to say real world, but like off of NFT Twitter, and kind of touch out, the real world. Yeah, the real world. Like, and I guess the best example I would give would be, the Debt Fellas attempt. I'll say attempt. I don't have a problem saying that. The attempt with Debt Fellas with the Wrangler. And I say attempt because it didn't sell out. And maybe it's likely because it was in a bear market, but that was a Web3 native company, like partnering with a legacy like company, like fashion, like kind of, I don't know, like fashion, not, I'm saying a legacy company, and like on their website, you can go to wrangler.com even right now, and you can find that Dead Fella shirt and jacket, denim jacket. And that's pretty cool. They didn't make a special page for this Web3, for their Web3 collabs. No, it's a part of like the rest of the Wrangler, like jeans and their actual products. And so, yeah, like, I think that's just the start of trying to put our stamp, into the real world. And I think as more projects do that, as Artifact does that with Nike, as I don't know what Duels is going to do. I don't know what like Boarded Yacht Club. I don't know what their play is outside of the other side. They better make that, like, I don't know, they better like onboard some esports like gamer people. I mean, I don't know how they will do that, but they have the funds to do that. I don't know what Azuki is doing, but I know Azuki certainly seems to be in Valhalla, seem to be really focused on the Asian market, which I think is brilliant. No one is fucking watching the Asian market or like targeting the Asian market. And I'm saying this because I was in Japan for the past couple months, and like they are ripe for just exposure. And I mean, like, communities need to go over there. They need to start building and collaborating over there and exploiting this new market. I know that sounds so bad, but seriously. It's ripe for it, and you could do it. Hong Kong, Tokyo, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, Singapore is what I would say. Maybe Thailand, as well. So
Well,
there's
I appreciate that take. I want to hear. Let's go to King Wabi. King Wabi, I've heard enough of my own voice. What do you have going on?
What's going on, Caleb? Good to be here again, brother. You had asked me to come on your spaces a few more times before you come on to mine, so I'm here to drop some alpha on you guys. I'm hearing. I'm sorry if I butcher your name, ma'am.
Shekinah.
Shekinah. Okay. So, you guys are asking like, what's the next iteration of NFTs, right? And I know Khalil was mentioning how a lot of these tokens, right, didn't necessarily make it to the next cycle, but their narratives eventually do, right? Like from the 2013 cycle, we had all these sort of like, Bitcoin type stuff like red coins and all that stuff. But for the next cycle, you had things like Monero, Dash, and also XRP carry on. And towards the end of that cycle in 2017, you had the quote unquote layer ones and ETH killers, right? Neo, Wanchain, Icon, Aeon, and some of these like interoperability protocols, and they didn't make it, right, but their narratives did. In case you guys didn't know, Solana and AVAX and even Terra, they all did their seed round and private raising during like the 2018 bear market, but they sort of pushed out their product until market conditions kind of became better, right? And if you look back on what was exploding towards the latter half of the previous bull run, it was NFT, things like GameFi, what have you. So there's a case to be made that perhaps at the next cycle, right, where volatility favors upside, that you could have things like GameFi take over, right? And to me, I think the next iteration of Web3, NFTs, GameFi, whatever you may be, it's going to be through monetization of NFTs, right? So a project that's currently like incubated, but of course it is they just finished their seed round. If you guys want to check it out, this is not a show, by the way. They don't even have a token yet, but it's called Shibuya XYZ, and I think you're gonna like this. So Shibuya is basically a Web3 video platform where long form content is free to watch, but it's also monetized on the blockchain. It's on ETH, by the way. It's going to be on ETH, and it's going to allow viewer participation on the creative process and also shared viewership. So essentially, Shibuya is going to allow users to participate and fund and vote for the outcome of the story, right? And if you want to know, like, some of the cool people behind it, like the main person behind it is called Emily Yang. And before Shibuya, she created visual effects for Hollywood movies and also like Blizzard cinematics. Like I know you mentioned like Activision and stuff like that. So she comes from Blizzard. And she also made animations for like various DeFi protocols and also some NFT projects, right? And they're led by some people on A16Z, variant.
Yeah, you're getting rugged, my man.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah. So, and they're also partnered with Azuki's. They're having 250 of the Azuki's PFPs come onto their stories, and essentially, like, each story is going to have a few quote unquote anime chapters. And
hey, real quick, man, it sounds awesome.
yeah.
But it definitely sounds awesome. Appreciate you coming up here. I just try to keep it a little bit limited on like the new mints and that type of stuff coming up. I'm not trying to turn this into an infomercial for a new mint. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. If you want to stay up talking about whatever else, definitely do it. But just again, just something.
Yeah, no, it's not a new mint.
With that.
Yeah, it's not a new mint whatsoever. Like, this thing is not coming out for like at least another year and a half. It's more of like it's going to be token based, but like this is not a mint or anything like that. It just fits into like the whole NFT monetization and having like NFTs come up on things like TV shows, movie screens, things of that nature. Where like it all goes back to the creator instead of like YouTube or Twitch or Discord taking a part of it. So it's definitely not like an infomercial. I know someone had mentioned that. It's just something that's coming up with a narrative, right? And it just so happens that like not only are they partnered with Azuki, right, but they're also touching the Asian market.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just something that like clicked, and I'm like, yeah, I want to kind of throw this in her way because I think she'd appreciate it, and they do have some things out right now you can check out, so I think you'd enjoy that. And again, like none of these things are on any marketplace or whatever, so it's definitely not like shilling or anything. It's just something that is sort of like in the works in a private funding kind of aspect.
Hey, Kay, do you mind before we bring up Roger, the next speaker, Crypto Bilu, I comment real quick back on something
Yeah, bro.
that she made a really good point
Comment
about.
on whatever, whenever.
Yeah, thanks, man. So we went back to like an area where I kind of agree with you to like the use case of what an NFT is. And in order for it to really be, I think, an onboarding, something that excites people to bring into this world, it has to be easy. And that's I think the biggest hurdle that we're in this space right now. We're at that cusp still of innovation. How do we bring this out to the world for the world to embrace? And if we can't in our small community figure that out right now, that's going to be our biggest challenge. And in order for us to continue to go through this, we have to keep pushing the boundaries of innovation, keep building the communities, keep learning and adapting in this space. And we have to remember that this space is still so young. And you also mentioned NFT Twitter. This is the conversation in multifacets of the world, not just the NFT. And it's a really good starting point, I truly believe. So once we continue to grow and to innovate and to onboard people with that ease of access and ease of use, I think you might actually see your that opportunity that maybe you're missing out on right now. I just wanted to point that out, and I do agree with you though.
B-Ways. I mean, 80s. I just got to tell you, man, I agree 1,000%. 1,000%. And what a privilege it's been these last. What day are we on?
Yeah,
every single day.
It's basically every day for the last month.
Time is an illusion.
It is an illusion, and the dedication and just the consistency and watching all these people one by one. I was just talking to Stick F, who's a Pablo. I also happen to be, I think it's a very underrated blue chip. That's not a shill. Never listen to my advice. But we were just talking on DMs about how we're part of that community. And what I love is how Wonky is my core community. There's nothing outside. There's nothing I do in any other space that doesn't anchor itself in the Wonky community. Because the art, the chart, whatever, is really about the vibes. Because good people eventually meet, and somehow they've gathered around this PFP collection, and it's astonishing to me. Like, I use that, I wish I had a better word than astonishing. It's just great freaking people that want to see other people succeed, and I just can't stop smiling. Like, every time one of these spaces comes up, I just got to be a part of it. Like, I haven't jumped up. I haven't talked. I've just been listening and grinning, like geeking out, grinning about how we all knew and would know the future of this thing. And the connections are so much more valuable than even the stonk itself. But to see the stonk rise is just a byproduct. And it's just so amazing and such a pleasure. I just want to just give shout outs to everybody because you guys keep grinding, and it means the world to me. I know it means the world to so many other people. And if you could put Wonkies in the center, like, of a diagram, and see how many other projects that they reach out to and participate in without any competition and only support and only good energy and only how can we help, that's the future. That's how this thing grows. And it's just a privilege to be a part of it. I'm going to stick up on stage and keep hanging. I haven't talked in a little bit, but love you guys. I'll back up. And Kaleo, I have one question, and it is super, super serious. Did you sell those feet picks?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I told you. I sold them and I rotated that shit into this. Like, I literally just bought stonks with whatever change from the ETH that I had. So, like, that was, dude, I got so pissed off with I think they had the chance for greatness with their meme. And, like, they had all the momentum rolling. And you know how they killed it? I do it like I had DM'd them about this, on day one before I had any connections. Like somebody was like, "Here's what I think, the feet dev should do with all their feet. I think that they should like distribute it to the community, do whatever else." So I DM'd them and I was like, "Hey, just shoot my shot out here, not unsolicited, but free advice toward them." I was like, I think the best way for you to succeed with this, just burn them all, right? Or burn the majority of them, and you will send the project flying. You'll be able to get way more ETH from the transaction fees than you'll ever get from doing anything else. And they said, hey, if you're worried about us dumping them, don't worry. We're never going to dump no matter what. This is a long-term plan for us, XYZ, whatever reason. So what do they do 3 days later? I started seeing on the OpenSea feed them accepting a shit ton of WETH offers. And at that point, and then they're still sitting there saying that they're sticking with it and they've got like an NDA signed you can't talk about. I'm like, fuck that, man. Like, this thing actually, I know their mantra is that they're going to zero, but like, F it, this thing deserves zero now. So, yeah, man, anytime that anybody's acting like that, it just, dude, I get those freaking things out of my wallet. I don't want to see them anymore, and rotating them into something I want to see. And that's
I don't even want to hear about them anymore. Fuck.
Amen.
And we've all been through this before, right?
Y'all, let me get out first. Relax. Let me fully exit first. Shit.
Oh yeah, buy Rooster's feet picks.
I got a rare green Crocs. Hit the DMs.
Rooster, what the heck, man? You're still holding that now?
Bro,
don't step
I
in this shit, bro.
Them. Yeah, I listed them, but they weren't bought.
Here's the thing. Who knows? You never know with this type of meme, right? Like, if the NFT market picks back up, you never know what shit picks back up with it. So,
Bro,
there's always a prayer.
006. Like, I bought them for $4. I could honestly don't really give a shit if they
Bullish.
Well, love that for you, man.
I want to say.
Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I gotta say it again, man. I'm back. I'm in spaces again. Sorry, I took a break. I'm back. Hey,
let's go, man.
The fact that we're just art is the most bullish thing ever. It's the most bullish thing ever. There's nothing else to talk about except the community sets the value of art because the community is what matters. The provenance, the community, the value is all set by the people who decide that it has value. And it has value based on the artist. And stonks not only cross or bridge all of us degens. I mean, we're all degens if we're in here. But it bridges all of our crypto trading, nostalgia, failures, experiences into the art. We love staring at charts, and there's nothing else to be offered, and that's what's most captivating and just savory about the entire collection. There's not going to be more to it. Great people, great vibes, great art, Nothing else. No, please, I don't want to speak for you, but there's not ever going to be a wonky token. There's not going to be a staking mechanism. There's not going to be a. Please don't let me speak for you. Correct me right now. But
No,
I
you're
don't.
good.
Okay, I don't think any of those things are ever going to play. I think it's going to be art, and art for art's sake, for artists who appreciate art, who want to be a part of the first thing that was generative about stonks on the freaking internet in an ERC20 token. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah,
I gotta
like
say,
token,
having
man.
him back, like, I love having him back. By the way, let's fucking go.
it fires me up, man. I really love it. Love having you back here, man. And I'm looking forward to tonight / the next however many days we can keep you around for. We'll see. I'm going to kick it over to Raj. You've had your hand up for a while. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? Glad you're finally doing another space again. I think I DM'd you a couple days ago because it was like 12:30 or maybe like 11:30 at night for me, and I was like,
Bro, my DMs
"Damn,
are a
Kaleo's
black
not
hole, a
hosting his
dark
spaces,
abyss.
bro."
Like,
I felt
hey,
so
but
abandoned.
no, here's the like. I host them. I host them every day. The time is dependent on when I can host them. It's not always at the same time, unfortunately.
He said finally, like it's been like 3 weeks since you've done one.
I know it's been like 4 days. So, hey, man, some separation anxiety, but yeah, finally good to be back after a little bit of a very short hiatus. But yeah, I've had a couple friends start sending me your tweets. I'm like, yeah, that's the homie, even though we're not really friends. I tell people we're friends for the personal clout, but yeah, just happy to be here, and I'll pitch
Well,
in once we get to
you
some
know,
questions.
Raj, here's the funny thing. I actually tell my friends that I'm your friend for the cloud. I'm
Man,
not even joking. Like it
you're gonna make me
happens. It
blush.
might. It
You're gonna
might.
make
It
me
might
blush.
not. But now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and kick it over to Brain Fart. Brain Fart, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy? I was hearing one of the co-hosts like speak about Wonky Stonks, and I just wanted to add that I will be like a long-term holder for this. I do believe like in like 5 to 10 years from now, when people are going to look back at this, they are going to realize that these are like the crypto punks of the charts, like this is generative art, this is just art. There's like it, I can totally see the future in this way, right? So anyone who's going to get into this, just remember in 5 to 10 years from now, this thing is going to be like the OG of chart arts, right? So think of it in that kind of mindset. Like CryptoPunks have no utility, nothing of that sort. They are just like pure pixelated art, and Wonky Stonks is on that same level for charts. So that is what I see, that is what I believe, and that is what I think is going to happen. So yeah, thank you for generating this art for us, and in a very good time as well, when NFTs were actually starting and kicking off.
Man, I feel underexposed at 30 now. Fuck. Let's
Bro,
go.
I swear, man, if like I've got a pretty sizable long right now, and if the market just does break out the way I think it will, I am definitely out. Like any profits from that will rotate into some stocks. It's yeah, I just need Bitcoin to go ahead and start that squeeze, um, and we'll make some fun happen. Nick T, what is going on? I'm going to kick it to you, then I'm going to kick it to King Wabi. Glad to have you up here at a late night space, man. This is a rare occurrence. Feels special.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man. I sit through these spaces. I see them at work. I don't get out till 7. I get FOMO, but I'm gonna backtrack a lot here. I'm gonna butcher this. Is it Shekinen? It was gonna be a
Shekinah.
it was gonna be a counter argument. But you eventually started touching on it when you said you were bearish. I know a lot of people on here got a little triggered and had a different idea, but I am bullish on NFTs for a few reasons. I think one of the reasons you started to touch on it was it's like buying into a startup, And then beyond that, there's also the speculative aspect of it. And when you start looking at a market cap and, like you say, Kaleo, with the altcoins with pictures, becomes a very, very good-looking trade in terms of risk-reward. And then I think you look at some of the stuff in crypto, and it has like $1 billion market cap, and you're like, if these companies were in TradFi, they would be $10 million at most. I don't know. I'm really bullish on NFTs. Leveraged ETH. I know we've touched on it a lot, but I know it's backtracking a lot here, going back to that, but wanted to bring it up. I know
you're good, man.
Got triggered.
I mean, I agree with you, right? I think one of the differences about NFTs that even if the tech does progress, you have the potential for them to be sticky. Is just that, like exactly what you're like, the community aspect of it, man. If you've got a project that's art and you've got the community side of it, like it's tough to be able to say if there are people that are collecting something because they appreciate the art, right? They appreciate the art and they appreciate the history. As more people come into the space, like, the number of people that have that interest grows, but the supply remains the same. I mean, there's something natural that happens along with that. So, like, that's why I'm so bullish on the stocks and where we're heading by focusing on the art. But, again, several other projects, like you look at punks, whenever they first started, people didn't start buying punks because of whatever utility they could do with them. People bought punks for the cultural relevance, historical relevance of the mint. And eventually they just became status symbols. Same thing with like Fidenzas, Squiggles. You go down the whole generative art list, people aren't buying for the utility.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the things that we talked about when we first were starting out, was that this was almost like a legacy timepiece with the art. Almost like a bridge of CT to NFT Twitter.
Yes, sir. King Wabi, what's up, man?
What's going on, Khalil? I just wanted to say I didn't really mean to come in straight off the bat that shilly when I came in. I just want to say that I just love NFTs and I'm excited about the future of the space. And yeah, man, I just wanted to say how it's really like generative art will be the grails for the next cycle when the rest of the world discovers NFTs, and how that's going to bring max adoption. And really it's just about, like, as you guys were saying, strong communities are extremely bullish outside of it's a bit different than holding tokens and what have you. And I also wanted to say that when it pertains to Wonky Stocks, I definitely feel that it could be like art blocks eventually. And it's even more bullish because there's a community. So I even got a message from somebody in the audience that's a boy of mine. He's like, dude, you're coming off like a used car salesman. And I tend to get a bit overexcited, when a narrative comes up and someone comes in a space and saying, hey, we need this and that when it comes to NFTs or in DeFi. And usually when something clicks, I tend to soy jack. It's like a little meme, soy jack. It's like whoa jack, and he has glasses and he has his like arms going up and down and stuff, all like overly excited. So sorry for soy jacking. And to be honest, I really thought to myself that I would never recover from this emotionally. When someone was like, dude, is this an infomercial?
Bro, that was me.
You gotta love his authenticity coming in here, though, and like being real. Like, mad respect to you, dude. Like, straight up, mad respect.
Yeah, no problem, dude. No problem. Just a student of the space. Really love to be here with you guys and chatting all things Web3. Good thing you're hosting the space at this time, Khalil, because my schedule's been pretty hectic. So thanks for hosting the space, brother. Good to be here. It's good to be here, guys.
Yeah, man, you're good. No worries. Like, I knew that you weren't really trying to do that. It just is one of those things. I could read the pace of the conversation. Like, I knew that if I was starting to feel something, that I could guarantee every single other person was. So at a certain point, you just got to do the awkward thing to be able to move on. But appreciate you coming back and saying that. Like, and definitely keep coming back here. Easel, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? It's been a long time.
What's up, brother?
So excited to jump into this one when it started. So I think this is the first one I caught at the beginning. I want to go back a little bit with everything you guys were talking about, and this is how I see the NFT. This is my alpha, little bias, but this is what I believe with NFTs. Taking all the points that you guys were making into account, I believe that all the current projects that are offering a bunch of utilities, gaming projects, and I'm not gonna say all. I say most, probably 99% of them are gonna be stuck with legacy technology, because right now, the utility that's being brought in has a single point of failure, which is we use the legacy, web combined with the blockchain technology. And at some point, if the server is compromised, whatever, of the developers, the founders, so it's the entire project and whatever you're offering. If at any point any of these projects, um, any big corporation sees them as, government, whatever, like they shouldn't be, they can be easily taken down, defeating the whole purpose of this decentralized future and promises and all of that. So for my belief, the simpler the projects are, Wonky Stonks, they don't have these obstacles ahead. You know what I mean? They don't got to rebuild their whole thing when we finally get some real infrastructure that can provide real utility in what the crypto world is supposed to do. So this is the problem where we are. And I'm sorry it's a little serious or whatever. Everybody is building their projects. Everybody's building utility, but we don't have the foundation. And those that are building it quietly or have tried have not just succeeded. And this is a problem. If you look back when the Nintendo came out, who could go and make games there, right? Who had access to be published there? Nintendo 64, blah, blah, blah. It was recently into this other game engines, Unity, not even a real engine, that's like way bigger, gave access to regular people with not a team of 100 and a bunch of capital to make games that people like me and you can enjoy, and they can make
I'm going
money.
to pause you real quick, Easel. And I feel like you've said a lot of amazing stuff. I'm just going to give somebody else a chance to chime in just to, so we can pick back up on what you were saying. But, rather than like lose sight of like one of the great points that you were just making, let somebody else have the opportunity to just dive in for some commentary, before we lose that completely.
Thank you. Sorry.
No big deal, man. No big deal. Dude, I agree, man. Like it all goes back to just the fact the simpler, like that was the favorite thing that you just said that I agree with. Like the simpler the better, right? Because right now, the more complicated that you have, it just becomes more of a disadvantage because you have to develop and update that product as technology updates, upgrades with it. And it becomes really, the dog chasing its tail. And it gets difficult then to be able to keep up with new projects that have better tech, better whatever set up for the utility that are starting fresh than it is to completely revamp and go down a road to be able to keep up, right? Because at that point, the old team, like, they're doing what they can to keep up rather than being on the edge with what they need to do with whatever the new team is doing. So I don't know, man. It just makes perfect sense. Like, it's not to say that there's some utility projects out there that I, don't think will do well, but just it's a crowded market. It's only going to get more crowded.
Yeah, we heard from that Slick Fro.
Yeah, we have, but we can get them back up.
Yeah, and I do want to hear lovely lady from earlier, her new perspective, kind of hearing like some of what a lot of passionate NFT people have spoken about tonight. Has your sentiment kind of shifted a little bit, or we still looking at this kind of bearish?
Yo, Shekinah, I think that was
AFK.
me. But I think she's away right now. So I'll let somebody else take that.
Yeah, I was actually going to touch on some of the things that she brought up. Sorry, I had rugged for a little bit, so I had to get back up here. But yeah, I mean, my whole question, right, is everybody throws around the word utility, right? So what is utility? And, you know, earlier what Bitcoin Art was saying about community, like I'm bullish on Wonky Stonks now just because of him. He sent me a DM just to say, hey, man, like I'm a Pablo, and a lot of the Wonky Stonk people are Pablos as well. And like, hopefully it's cool for me sharing this, but like he literally sent me a small video, like a short video of his 3-year-old son wearing a We Are Pablo shirt. So like, shout out to him for like supporting us. And like, that's what's huge about the NFT market is the community. You know, what we're huge on doing at Pablos is supporting others that support us, you know, and, you know, artists and creators of the world are the ones who push us forward into the future. It's not the banks. It's not the people that have the money that invest in the artists and the creators. It's the artists and creators themselves. So if we can support each other, but also build amongst each other and, you know, support in that way, there's nothing that we can't do as artists and creators because we're the dreamers. We're the ones who make things happen. So I just wanted to talk about that. Just that is utility, not getting free stuff or getting ETH dropped into your wallet, things like that, right? Because that's not sustainable.
Yo, and by the way, feel free to treat this as an open stage too, where if you guys have something, just let the conversation flow. I mean, I love moderating, doing whatever else, but also I love a natural conversation. I'll step in if I need to, but yeah. So feel free to let it flow. I mean, I guess I'll kick it back to King Wabi, but I mean, if you guys have something to commentate on as people say it, like let's hear it.
I do
Hey,
gotta
man.
ask where Rooster. I haven't heard you since you ripped the bong, man. You good?
Yeah, bro, I'm multitasking, playing poker, waiting for some donuts to arrive. I got this spot that's like open late and makes fire ass donuts.
Bro, don't talk to me about donuts right now.
Bro, I just ate a sandwich. It was freaking amazing.
I want some donuts now.
Yeah, bro, they're like big ass fire ass like craft donuts almost. Yeah, I'm excited. It feels like forever so far.
Big ass fire ass craft donut. That's just
Dude,
sounds delicious.
I won't lie. I ate a giant ass sandwich and I still have the munchies right now. Like, I'm so tempted to order something, but I know I shouldn't, so I'm not going to. But it is tempting as heck.
I'm about to Uber Eats that shit real quick.
Rooster,
I want to.
Rooster, can you explain what is on that donut, please?
Yeah, I got like a lot of them.
Which one are you most stoked about?
The old dirty bastard, bro. It's like it's chocolate icing. It has like peanut butter drizzle on it and Oreos on the top.
Surprised you guys
wasn't there an
Taco
NFT
Tuesday.
project called the Donuts? At some point, there were some NFT donuts out there, right?
I have no idea.
Raj,
Probably
I'll
was
see you
an
later.
NFT everything.
Unless you're waving to say yes.
Hey,
And
I was waving to say yes. It was a misclick. My bad.
what's
Yeah.
I just gotta hear. There's a collection of fire ass big ass donuts coming to Roosters, and Rooster is like a connoisseur of food. So if there's alpha on the donut circuit, we need to understand.
Was it the project called the Donut Shop NFT? I believe. No.
Probably so. Yeah.
I think it was called the Donut Shop NFT. It probably went to zero, to be honest. I mean, I haven't heard of anything about that since
Yeah, no, it's
the
definitely gone to
previous
zero.
bull
It's like
run.
one of the million projects that went to zero.
Oh, Rooster
Rooster's
ate them all,
donuts
so
are
they got
going to
burned.
zero.
They're in Rooster's stomach. All the
Do, do,
NFTs, all
Nah,
10,000.
do
I'm
you
about
get
to
some
name
utility
the donut I'm gonna
with
get.
Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kremes with that donut NFT?
I wish. Oh, funny enough, you say Dunkin' Donuts. I've always wanted to kind of integrate something Web3 related to Dunkin' Donuts. Um, my parents are in the Dunkin' Donuts business, so ever since I was a kid, like I would walk in, and back in the day, they had like a baker, right? So like I was like a I don't know, 6, 7-year-old kid, I would go to the back and be like, hey, mister, can you make me a donut? And he actually would like fry like a fresh made donut. Um, Obviously things changed, but like I was thinking like, imagine like you have a QR code on a sprinkled donut and it takes you to the Wonky Stonks OpenSea. Like, I think that would be fucking sick.
Dude, or what about like a Taco Tuesday NFT, right? Today's Tuesday, right? And out of respect, I just went to my local taqueria and I got 2 burrito loaded tacos and a steak quesadilla. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to tear this up. It is what it is, but I'm going to tear this up. And there's absolutely nobody that can stop me. So I know we were talking about like NFTs and utility. So if I've got my, taqueria Taco Tuesday NFT, I'm not going to expect free shit because that's not the way we do things. But at the very least, maybe like, I get I get the special for Taco Tuesday and I get like a T-shirt or something, or maybe a discount for a drink, something like that, where it's like, I'm repping this local business via this NFT and I'm getting some sort of perks. Think of it like rewards points of some sorts that just accumulate the longer you hold the NFT. That's really something that could potentially be in the quote unquote aspect of utility when it comes to NFTs. So little things like that.
I have
So
this insane idea. And I think you guys are probably gonna think it's crazy. But what if art was just art? And what if donuts were just donuts to be consumed? And there was no NFT connected to it.
Dude, honestly, can we get out of this freaking room with the conspiracy theories, BTCR? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
bro.
just
Like
thought no.
the
Just
negative
pause real
vibes,
quick.
man. Come on.
We came in here having a serious space about serious shit, and you're gonna tell me that art is just art and donuts are just donuts? Fuck that, man. Fuck you. I
and
yeah,
apologize for the
we, we
language.
need
There's some
we
things that I
need
get
some
passionate about. This is one of them.
and
we need some sort of yield on these donuts, bro. Like give us
we
some.
gotta say fuck Rooster because he brought up craft donuts.
Well, okay,
And if a
Rooster, here.
14-year-old has the capacity to order craft bespoke donuts at midnight in Colorado that has caramel drizzle all over them, and he can consume them, I think a donut can just be a donut, and I think art can just be art. And that's my personal opinion. You guys can hate on it. Go ahead and FUD me. Do your thing.
First
But
of all, there wouldn't even be donuts without NFTs. So, sir, if you could hop off the stage. No, I'm playing with you.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how to capitalize this idea right now because, this turned into a donut space from an NFT space. So, how do we merge the two together? Well, Rooster, here's what I'm thinking. You've got an entire collection of dope ass donuts coming. They're going to look incredible. And the only way to be able to share that and to really just make sure that it never goes away, you've got to take a picture of it and make a manifold open edition.
No, I'm gonna mint the donut that I'm about to eat and pin it up on the Twitter. And it will be for sale. It'll be for auction. So whoever wants to buy the donut NFT that I'm gonna eat, stay tuned for that.
I will personally donate a coffee club NFT to go along with his donut. I would like to send it to whoever decides to buy that. I have a coffee club NFT I will send directly to your wallet.
Listen, you guys talking about food. I need some guidance.
Free.
This is serious. Those of you that had deep dish from Chicago. I'm from New York. I believe New York pizza is the best. I get
Bro, I'm
easily
from
offended.
Chicago. I
And
live in
and
Chicago now.
somebody gave me the link and everything and said you got to order the pizza. They'll send it to you cold. Put it in your oven. It's worth it.
Are
Fuck
you
deep
talking?
Okay,
dish pizza.
I
I'm
want
just
to
gonna say
interject
that
here.
right there. Deep dish is trash.
Yeah,
No
I got to
cap.
interject here. I live in Chicago. Don't fucking order deep dish, bro. That shit is it's soup with a crust on it. I've
Nah,
lived
deep
in
dish is
Chicago
fire,
my whole
bro.
life, and I can tell you
Bro,
deep dish
Crazy.
pizza is disgusting.
Y'all
bro.
are crazy.
No,
The
you
deep
can't
dish is
just
so
talk
fire.
about deep dish
You,
like that. No
do,
Yeah,
way.
dude, hey, when I was a kid, I
y'all
used
need
to
to
like
live
it.
and
The
expand your
older you
mind a
get,
little
the
bit.
more you
Right?
realize that shit is nasty. Come on.
Bro,
Boo,
you're
Yeah,
not,
80s,
thank you
you're
for
getting
saying
it from the
boo.
wrong place.
That's what you
I've
heard
been
Big
to I've been
TC
to I've been
say.
to Lou Malnati's. I've been to
Wrong
Geno's
place.
East. I've been everywhere,
Wrong
bro.
place. Geno's, Lou's, you can't get
Listen,
that pizza. That's fake Chicago
All right,
style.
I'm gonna
where should I go then for
I'm gonna
deep dish?
fix your
I'll
life
go
for the
literally
okay?
tomorrow.
I'm gonna
Go.
fix all of your problems. This is how you do a deep dish pizza. I hacked this shit a while back. Instead of that soup
Boo.
that you're talking about, is you tell them put the sauce on the side and cook the pizza in the oven, and then when it's done, you put the sauce on top. And now you have a nice crispy pie, and then you have some nice fucking good sauce on top. That's how you roll. All right.
Bro, you just made breadsticks. So, like, if you
That's
want to eat
literally what he
breadsticks,
said.
just get breadsticks, my guy.
Okay, the Wonky Stonks are officially turning into a pizza slash donut utility
This is
community.
all Rooster's fault.
We are
You,
slowly
you guys
developing
got to
a
include Taco Tuesday in there, man, for a special drop. The Taco Tuesday drop.
Yeah, we do
there's
got to shout
game
out
fi,
tacos.
there's trade fi, and then there's donut fi.
I don't know what the
Each
fuck I'm talking about. So,
I am curious. Whoever said that they're in Chicago, where is a good deep dish pizza place other than Geno's and Lou Malnati's? Because I'm in
So
like the middle of Chicago right now.
so either go to Tortorisi's or Pequod's.
Okay,
Those are two places
okay.
to go.
Haven't heard of. Do you know where they are?
So Tortorisi's is off Grand, in between Damon and Ashland,
Okay.
and then Pequod's is off Clybourne.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. All right, I'll
Hey,
do that.
that is pending. Okay, we need to hear from you next
Hey,
time.
All
man,
right.
you
Yeah,
also
yeah.
got
I
to go
will.
to
I
the.
will. I'll
You
get
got
it
to go
this
to the
week.
Art of Pizza too, man. You got
I'll
to go
take a
to
picture too.
You got to go to the Art of Pizza, and you got to go to Bartoli's Pizzeria, and also Bert's Place, and Pisano's Pizza and Pasta, and also
Pisano's
Coal
is
Fire.
fire. I've been to
Yeah,
Robert's Pizza. If you've been there, it's in Streeterville.
yeah. And you
It's
also
not
got to
deep
go to.
dish, but it's my favorite pizza in Chicago.
The best one is Luisa's Pizza and Pasta, and the reason why I know this, dude, is because I am a pizza aficionado. Right,
Okay. Okay.
I'm not 6'1" and 330 pounds for no reason. You know what I mean? I'm a big boy and I like to eat. I eat so much pizza they call me Mario the Plumber, and I'm not talking Super Mario. I'm talking Super Mario. You know when Mario gets that little star and it goes like dun 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 dun, dun. You know that little song, right? When you get the invincible star, well, that's me. When Big Wobby pulls up to Pizza Parleria, and then you have someone called Gretchen and Luisa cook up the pizza. Now you better tell them to turn on the pizza, because when Big Wobby comes in, they better get ready. I'm gonna come in like dynamite. I'm gonna fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And that's about it.
Bro, I echo the exact same sentiment 100%, 110%, man.
I feel like I'm in a movie.
I want to say that I echo it too, and I want to bring it back to Wonky Stonks because
So, how do we integrate Wonky Stonks and pizza?
well,
Khalil,
New
look, I have
New
the
whoa, whoa,
idea.
whoa, 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 food. Listen, I've waited months to get back in these spaces. Give me a minute. Now, food is art, unequivocally, and it is what it is. The person who creates it, the person who consumes it, they pay for it, and there doesn't need to be anything more than the experience that you have enjoying it and participating with it and sharing amongst friends, all welcome at the same table. And that's Wonky Stonks. Period. Is amazing art, it's amazing community, and everybody's welcome at the table.
It
New
truly
York,
is. It's
New
beautiful,
York.
man.
I love that BTC. It's been a
Khalil, what
while,
about
man,
like a
since I heard
food
you.
eating contest, man? Endorsed by Wonky Stonks, right? You can have like a wonky, just have like a background of a deep dish pizza, maybe on a Friday, and then on Tuesday you'll have like a taco in the background. And so the idea is, right, whoever wins in this food eating contest essentially represents Wonky Stonks, right? So I think that's how we can integrate all these foods into the Wonky Stonks collection. You know,
Dude, how high is everyone right now? This is.
Yeah, this is
Oh, I'm laughing my ass.
and I never get high on the space either. And this is like a discipline of mine. I've always just tried to, but I'm having fun though, man. It's a fucking blast. I'm complete zombie right now. I've been going 13 hours today on spaces. So
What's going on with
So you had to switch it up.
New York NFTs? What's going on?
Listen, I don't touch the devil's weed, the
devil's lettuce,
the lettuce, the sticky icky, or the whatever. So if you guys need me to hold it for you, I'll do
the
it.
Stonk Father's on stage. Hold on, let me get him up here too.
I like how
and B-Ways is coming up. Let's fucking go, baby.
Let's go.
Well, I realized I forgot to send it out in the DMs that we were starting up. I probably honestly should go to Discord and do it there too, but I'm just too lazy. So if somebody wants to shout it out in the Discord,
I
do
think
it.
Let's post a Discord at the top. I've had a couple people message me if there was a Discord they'd love to hop in. So just go to the LedgArt page. You'll see the Discord link up there.
I like how King Wabi says he's 6'1", 300 pounds, and then 5 minutes later pitches a pizza eating contest.
Look, because the thing is, dude, with Wonky Stonks, there's probably going to be a fork, right, called Funky Stonks, right? So it's like, if you're a foodie, you're also funky, so Funky Stonks, right? And if you want some ideas, just run it by the Stonk Father. He goes by the Croc Father and the Rock Father, right? There's many iterations, and so really, when you think about it, the Wonky Stonks can be like this sort of interoperable, sort of like non-judgmental NFT collection where there's art that becomes generative, and once you purchase a Wonky Stonk, maybe 18 months from now, you'll just have like a pizza delivery guy give you a pizza, in the shape of the Bitcoin sign, and you'll have like some Kaleo sauce or maybe some Kaleo donuts. So it's all about giving back to the community.
Okay,
really.
I gotta stop you at the Kaleo sauce, bro. Pause, bro.
Yeah, that's a hard.
Bro, don't say that you wouldn't like some good Kaleo sauce, Rooster.
A secret sauce, baby.
Poet
Yeah,
awesome sauce.
if you're selling
Awesome sauce.
if you're selling that on the website, dog, I'm not buying any. I'm not buying any sauce off the website.
No, you get a
I'll support the
free jar of Kaleo sauce with each Wonky Stonk. You gotta redeem it in the LedgArt shop.
Bro, I am watching the number of listeners cascade off a cliff right now, and I don't give a shit.
Listen, this is us being real as fucking. We're always real, but we're having a good time, bro. All right, come on.
Here's the deal: the cream rises to the top, and we're just getting rid of. Dude, that plays along with the freaking last. Damn it. Okay,
that's fine. All the
mind.
Win Bitcoin people are dipping. We don't need the Win Bitcoin people.
Listen,
okay, I'm gonna give it to B-Ways. I feel like B-Ways is a level-headed, mature, reset the room kind of tone. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to him right now.
Depends on what kind of night he's having.
Yeah, that's not what I was going to do at all. I thought it was a funny comment on the cream rises to the top in that particular occasion. No, not at all. I just wanted to thank BBC here for the awesome comment. And I agree. I just want to say I love you. I'm on 1% battery here, so I'll tune out. Just want to say I love the Wonky Stonks community. So I'll be here vibing, trying to recharge my phone. But I love you guys.
Hey, we love you too, man. From the bottom of our heart, brother.
Love you, dude.
Right,
thanks for the shout out.
In his phone charging efforts. just to help make, because I know that's a very difficult conversation. And something a lot of people just aren't really ready to talk about is when their phone dies. I know it's difficult. There's a part of you, it's a good friend, it's almost family in a sense, that's leaving you in that moment. And I just want you to know, B-Ways, you're not alone through that struggle, man. We are here for you. We've all been there. It's not fun, it's not easy, but you are going to get through this.
B-Ways, are you at mini bar right now? Just hand it to the lady. Put it on the lightning charger, and we'll see you in 5.
I'm close. I'm actually close.
Okay.
I will say this, for as level-headed and just, I don't want to say dry, because B-Ways isn't dry, but he's serious, right? For as serious as B-Ways is, I think he's an alcoholic, because
you got to hang out with him, bro, for real.
Every night he's at a different bar, but I mean, he's in Miami, so I don't know. Is that just normal?
Yeah, it's normal.
Dude, I find it crazy how so many people from NFT Twitter are here in Miami with me, bro. And it's I've been to some events, and it's sort of like everyone is in their own clique, bro, in their own world. And you never know. You never know who you're going to see in person from these NFT spaces, to be honest, man. So if any of you are going to BTC Miami, I'll be there.
Unequivocally, there will be a bumper sticker in the bull market that says, "Who is B-Ways, and why does he keep blowing my mind?"
Tell you, he's 007. He's a mystery, brother. A beautiful mystery, though.
We took B-Way shooting in Miami. That was probably one of the best hour and a half of my life, just watching B-Way shoot machine guns. That was great.
Dude, that's...
Yo, no, here's the deal. The only time I met B-Ways, he was too cool for me, right? He had a wristband, was on the inside of a party. I did not have the wristband, was just standing outside in the pleb section. And B-Ways came out and visited me for 3 or 4 minutes, said, hey, we met, shook hands. He went back in, and, I was just stranded out there on an island, ended up leaving. So, who is B-Ways?
Yeah, didn't you have to swim back home? Didn't you have to
Felt
swim?
like it.
You make him feel bad.
Hey,
You make
who?
him feel bad, actually.
I feel left out here.
Here's the deal. When, being doxxed and not being doxxed, has its advantages, but occasionally I think being doxxed would have its advantages as well. For those type of situations, it's nice to have privacy, but then occasionally you're just for a second, you're yeah, I wish I would, because I know I'd be able to get back here really easily if I were doxxed, but it's not worth it.
Hey,
Oh, man,
I
it's
met
quiet
anybody.
now.
I'm looking forward to meet some of you guys in New York NFT. Maybe have the pizza eating contest for those that hold the chop. Wonky.
When is NFT NYC, by the way?
I don't know, bro. I feel 90% of NFT Twitter's speaking at it, though.
Right now, right?
I think it's April 14th through the 17th.
Yeah, I'll see y'all in Basel. I don't have the money to be making all these trips.
It's all right, man. Just contribute to Taco Tuesdays or maybe some Pizza Thursdays, otherwise known as Thick NFT Thursdays here on Wonky Spaces, and we'll take care of that for you. We'll take care of that.
And Nick, for real though, the goal, the dream, the aspiration, the vision is to make it to where the Wonkies are at a level where that it just does that for you. I don't know what I'm saying, what I mean, but maybe it makes sense.
I got a Wonky that's sent from your wallet. I think that should carry at least a 2 ETH premium.
That's what I say to every single time I see one of my gifts dump on the floor. when I see it down there, I'm like, dude, this is, it's basically free money sitting there on the floor, from two perspectives, a little bit of a double entendre.
I was looking at the one you gifted me actually the other day in my wallet. I didn't realize it, but I actually have a God candle on there. So appreciate that. Much love.
I think my favorite wonky is the one Rooster posted the other day. It has a God candle and it retraces in the next candle.
That's the Alameda wonky.
Yeah, that wonky stonk brings up bad memories.
We need a 3AC wonky, bro.
Not to derail the conversation at all, but my donuts just got here.
Bro, live stream that shit right now.
Yeah, so the auction's coming soon.
Dude, what are the
All
utilities on the
proceeds.
donuts, dude? What are the utilities?
Post the
I'm telling
tweet.
you right
Come
now,
on.
all proceeds will go to me sweeping the stonks floor
Let's go.
and stacking my bag even fatter.
I was thinking about Stonkfather earlier because he used to ride on those donuts. What was it, Stonkfather? Little, I don't know.
The Digi Pingu donuts?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought Rooster was good.
Oh man. Yeah, I got so distracted, but I mean, if someone wants to, I have no idea how to start up a restaurant, so I need to find somebody that like actually knows their shit. And I've been too busy degenning NFTs and working and doing too many other things. But I mean, oh yeah, we got Wiz on the stage actually. But Wiz, if we can ever figure that out, I don't know. We gotta get that going.
Yo, I've got a buddy that makes he makes like high quality ramen. If you want that, just let me know.
We're talking about donuts,
man.
Yeah, man. Let's get this donut shop going.
Twitter, Rooster, can you post it? Because I've been trying to cut back a little bit, but if I see it, I think I'll be satisfied.
Yo, Wizard or Stonkfather, were you guys at the Pudgy Penguins event when they had the donuts there?
Yep. I got
those were delicious.
I got the hoodie and I got the I got like the last hoodie they had, and I had the box. Like I cut out the penguin on the box and I put it on my phone case. Like,
oh, that's fantastic, bro.
Yeah.
My hands were covered in like icing trying to eat those. Like they felt like the donuts were gigantic. They were the size of like my whole hand. So I had to like grip the whole donut, try to eat it. Looked like an idiot, just stuffing my face with this like filled donut. But they were those were delicious.
That's actually how I met you, Bog. I saw you went up to the truck and you were like, hey, I started this. Let me get a t-shirt. Let me get a sweatshirt. And I went up to you. I was like, what's up, Bog? I recognized the voice. And then you were talking about, you were like, Luca let me put my bags, my luggage in his Rolls Royce. That's utility.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was not expecting that, but I came straight from the airport and I was like, like for anyone that went there, like there was like a fucking like Rolls Royce on like a red carpet with like, like with like the shit like surrounding it.
Yeah,
so
he parked his Cullinan right outside the entrance, and then I saw him come outside and put 2 Pudgy Penguin stickers on his window. I'm like, God damn, this guy's a baller.
No, he's a legend. But yeah, that happened, and that was a nice place to put my bags. Like literally, he was my bag. He was holding my bags. So a little bit of a 180. But no, yeah, that was a fun event, man.
Raj, ever since you said ramen, now I'm kind of thinking like ramen noodles, and then maybe have a donut for dessert. That sounds
ramen's BTC's best friend, bro.
Every time I come home from the bars, I always just try to make some ramen.
If I could tell you how much I love ramen, it would take all night long. I have so many things to say about ramen.
More than Wonky Stonks?
No. But there's so much truth, goodness, and beauty in that whole collection. And the guy, stay away from crack, gentlemen. Just if
Rooster, you want to put into context what he's talking about?
Have fun, but stay clear of the needle. Okay? Just
absolutely not. I like the mystery.
I like the mystery too.
Actually, Kaleo owns 1, 2, 3, 4 of the actual collection. If I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong?
What are we talking about right now?
No, he does. You own Mr. Ramen Noodle's Grail piece,
He
Kaleo.
owns the
Bro, what?
pinnacle of the entire collection.
But I think we were just
What the
talking about
hell
this
are we
like
talking about, man?
2
Like,
This
how
days
is
is
not,
this
ago.
this is not a
corporation
joke or a
involved in this?
conspiracy. This is real as hell. Like this is like this is, as the kids say, as a Rooster would say, for real, no cap.
Kaleo, is that gummy
God.
hitting you yet?
I mean,
Check your wallet, boss.
God, I mean, no, there's no way. I've got freaking ramen in my wallet.
Dude, you not only have the ramen, you have the promised grail of the
If I
ramen.
do, then I'm going to go dump this shit immediately.
No,
Like,
please
no,
do
I'm
not.
going to find it and I'm going to dump the ramen on the
BTC
floor.
spent like 3 ETH on it. Don't do
Yes, that is
Uh,
truth. Please do not dump
oh,
that.
wait.
Please,
So
God, do not dump that.
there actually is ramen in my wallet?
Yes, and the grail of the ramen. Like,
Okay, wait. I thought this was all a joke.
no. It's hilarious. It's hilarious, but it's not a joke.
There's no ramen in my wallet, bro. There's no
It's
fucking
it's
ramen in my
it's a
wallet.
MetaMind. It's called MetaMind. Check it out.
that. MetaMind.
Yeah, V-Ways, bring us home.
I'm not bringing you anywhere, but like it's called MetaMind. It's called MetaMind. It's in your wallet. It costs 1 ETH at ETH at 2K plus, and it was legendary. And I'm sure.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's what you're talking. Okay, yes, yeah. We brought that up the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about the other day.
But we never went through the whole story. We'll have to bring that up in a few months. But
The founder's name is Ramen Noodles, and he's a crackhead.
Dude, I mean, it was a pretty badass gift. But I mean, yeah, now I see what you're talking about by the ramen thing. Like, I thought that you were talking about like an NFT of ramen because we were
Dude,
just
that
talking about NFT
collection
donuts.
was fire, and we were kind of like really into the project. It was from an artist. We were even thinking about putting together some ETH and just acquiring the entire collection. And then he just went fucking crazy with the collection, destroyed it, ruined it. It's unfortunate, but shit happens in the space, and you learn to grow from it. So
I'm looking at all the pieces right now. This really is a freaking grail.
it is the grail of grails.
It's the grail.
Yeah, it was your honorary gift from BTC.
And you had guided me through Twitter, and because I love to trade, and I had just come into the stonks, and I had just met 80s, and I think Lone Wit turned me on to the MetaMinds, and I am not endorsing MetaMinds. Let that be known.
No, not at all. Please don't.
But I bought so many of them because I thought they were beautiful. And it was supposed to stop at 1, 2, 3, 4. So the grail was 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was waiting. And then finally it comes up. He puts it at 1 ETH. I buy it within a couple seconds. I send it to, I don't know who, maybe B-Ways, maybe 80s. And I was like, give this to Kaleo because I couldn't have bought it if it weren't for his calls. And I want him to come up with all of us in the MetaMind collectors community. And then within like 10 seconds, he drops 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and just destroys the whole collection.
It's too funny.
And then cuts the price in half after that, and releases multiple variations, and it was a fucking catastrophe. But
and we're all just sitting on mega dildos.
Yeah, then he released like Mecha Minds. I mean, it was a joke, right?
The Mecha.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like the absolute kind of epitome of the wrong way of doing Web3. Like totally leeching on the community. Like it was kind of embarrassing in a way. But BTC, your gesture was, I think, incredible. And I think that is what matters in the end, right? The gesture is still there, and it almost doesn't matter because
it was
Khalil
the best rug ever.
It was an awesome rug.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, now that I know that what we're talking about, I was so confused to begin with. I don't know how I got so confused. But like, dude, I'm telling y'all, whenever you did that, man, meant the world. It still does. And I'll never get rid of that thing again because of the story. I don't care. Even if somehow like something happened to where they took off, it's like, yeah, some things are, they don't have a price tag.
Oh, the story is way
I,
better than the value.
Yeah, it's epic.
well, I mean,
man.
I'd say especially right now after I just looked at the floor. Like we don't have to talk about that.
The a genuine sign of like respect and like low key like no don't want any praise or appreciation. Let's send this to Kaleo and say thank you because the guy is fantastic. And then within like 10 minutes he does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever it was. And the whole project got rugged. That's NFTs.
Hey, Kaleo, can we get some of your Bitcoin prayers that you do to pump it a little bit on the space as I'm watching the 5-minute candles here?
Tell me you have 100x long open without telling me you have 100x long open.
That's perfect. Easel, close that shit out. Deleverage.
Daddy's gonna pay rent this month.
Like, just reduce the leverage at least slightly for me while we're talking, please. And then let the rest of the night ride out.
I thought it was a magnet to 30K. I mean, I'm not sure if magnets are flexible.
Bro, sometimes, like, you got to go through a little bit of a shelf, a little bit of a maze with that magnet, but the magnet's strong enough, it's going to work its way through that maze, and it's going to get there.
I saw Avatar up here. Brother, you can come in and hop in and have the conversation flow if you want.
Bro, who the fuck is eating chips like that? God
That's
damn.
Kaleo.
Oh, that's me. Actually, no, not even chips. This is Welch's fruit snack.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
I thought you were trying to do ASMR or some shit on the mic.
Welch's fruit snacks.
Hey guys, my phone's about to die, so I'm just gonna go charge it. But I'm gonna bounce. Thanks for
Raj,
having
thanks
me.
for hanging out with
I'll
us
be
tonight, brother.
I'll be
Appreciate
back
it,
for the
man.
next one, guys.
Later, bro.
All right, later.
So I know from hanging out, I slipped down to Miami to hang out with B-Ways last couple of weeks ago. And he was telling me about how he's been accumulating stonks and just how he holds them. And I'm curious about his theory as to why. Is your phone charged enough where you could talk about that?
Yeah, it's charging as you speak. It's pretty easy. Like, my thesis on stonks has never changed. It is very, very simple. It is Kaleo, who I believe in. He's like one of the few genuine human beings with a lot of followers in the crypto Twitter space. That's one. I think it's the biggest one, by the way. And second, which is maybe something I underappreciated early on in December. Sorry, this is actually late October, early November 2021. Is that there was a lot of things about the mint of Wonky Stonks that were pretty unique in the NFT space that were probably underappreciated at the time. I think will be appreciated more over time. In that it's pretty historic in terms of a free mint. It was actually free mint. It was 100% free mint. It was 81% distribution, I think, early on. It was generative art. It is very recognizable for crypto traders, actually other traders, anyone that's financially inspired just immediately resonates with this project. And that happened to me as well. I was just browsing through OpenSea and I was like, this is a very different project. So I think you have Kaleo, you have generative art, you have free mint meta, which was way ahead of its time. And I think it's a very appealing project to a very big niche of the crypto Twitter space. So I think it's a very easy bet, and it's only gotten reinforced over the last few months, especially, I think. So yeah, I think it's one of the easiest bets in NFTs, actually.
Yeah, man. I know it wasn't the first free mint project, but it was definitely one of the first.
Yeah, it was one of the first, and it was definitely before some of the free mints that claim to be the first free mint, which is funny, right? I mean, you had, I think MF was coming later. You had Goblin Town, which made big waves about the free mint stealth type of stuff. But even Goblin Town was 6 months after the stonks, right? So I think there's a lot of factors here that come together, which I think made this project special. And it's not only that; it's not only art. We compare it to like Fidenza, which some people might think is a joke. And obviously, Fidenza is like this kind of generative art, which is pure art. It appeals to everyone. This is like more of a niche version of that, which will not appeal to 100% of the population, whereas Fidenza might, right, and will. And it's like higher art, as people might like to say. But this is comparable, in my opinion. I'm not even joking. I think it's comparable. Just for a more niche community that's perhaps more passionate. Like, I don't see many Fidenza people having spaces, and I'd love to have a Fidenza, don't get me wrong, but it has a lot of the same aspects to it, with a strong niche community that just loves to hang out and survive through the bear. So it has some things less than it, some things more than it, but it has a very special place in my heart.
You touched on the Freeman too and the unique ownership. I think one of the things that was really cool was the free mint, one per wallet, and then the 0.07 to avoid the botting. And then going back to like the very early stages, a lot of that started with these late night spaces. So it's cool to see it full circle, and we're all just hanging out, smoking or drinking or just chilling on a late night space.
Can you guys hear that music playing or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we like it.
Yeah, it's good band. It's great. That's great stuff. You should have this whole space, actually. This is great background music.
Yeah, I'll let it ride. It's colleague Bud. So.
Good evening, everybody.
I wanted to get. Hey, what's up, brother? What you doing tonight, Beach Dog?
Not much. This space has always been amazing. It was the first kind of space I listened to, the first space I talked on, and this was like in July of last year. And it happened to be the first NFT I owned because I won it in a contest that day, telling a story. And I've been around crypto for a long time, but I'd never done the NFTs. And here I am now. I'm sufficiently stoned enough to have this conversation. Since I have you all in the room, it's like, 6-7 months later. And here I am. And now I have 22 of these things. And
I think I gifted you your first stonk, actually. The yellow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I spoke with Kaylee on the space. You sent me the yellow bag.
You got to dump it on the floor now.
Yeah, right.
No, it was actually super special. And as time grew on, it became more special because that was the first NFT that I had. That's the first one I got into it. But I didn't know shit about it. I didn't know what a floor was or what its traits were or any of that. I was just, it was, fuck, that's cool. That's all I thought, So I started looking into it, and I went on the NFT thing and, bought a couple shit things that went absolutely nowhere. Didn't spend much. And then I bought one in another collection. Bought a couple and wrote it out until I saw that the owner was pumping and dumping his own shit, and you could clearly see it. And that was a red line to me because you learn that shit from crypto. And I sold the top of his pump and got out and 10x my little investment of $600 into $6,000. So that was a win. So I come back and I see that this community exists. And even though I've followed Kaleo for I don't know, how long have you been on? A long time. I've been in the space for 10 years. So you came in 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, 20. I mean, you probably, if you followed me for a while, you probably started following me in 2020. That's where I started to really pick up steam and followers the second half of that year. Then 2021 is when the account really blew up. But before that, I just had 8,000, 5,000 followers,
Yeah,
something like that
I think
for a couple of years.
I think I was one of those 8,500 followers or so.
Oh, that's crazy.
You've always done charts and stuff like that. Learned from you. It's incredible how accurate you are on just so much. Nobody's perfect. Give you that, but you nail a lot of things, and it's pretty amazing. And the personality that you are has made me feel comfortable with everything, even coming back to the stage to talk. Because I'm the old guy in the room, probably. I got into this 10 years ago.
Yo. I mean, don't talk trash on 80s like that. Give them a little bit of credit.
Well, I got into crypto when I was 46. Now I'm fucking 56. So talk about.
I mean, I think 80s got you by a few years, but we're going to just move on from that.
Well, I love.
Like I said, man, I'm a sexy senior citizen.
Mad respect. AARP.
I go with that.
I mean, 80s is actually like as anti-boomer as it gets.
Yeah, right.
That's awesome. But I have a question for you guys. This is the first time that I've. You said a couple of weeks ago or whatever it was, it took 10 to become a whale here. All right, I've doubled that, and I would just like to ask a simple question of, what's your best advice to a new whale in Wonky Stonks? Anybody?
Hop in the cigar room, boss, on the Discord.
I've done.
Yeah,
I've posted some cigar room in the cigar room there. What else does that do?
no, it doesn't do anything at all. Like zero.
Yeah.
Like the cigar room is completely for the band. No, to be real. No,
Agreed.
This is reality, right? Now, the next step from a whale is to get 55 stonks, and that gives you medium legendary status.
Jeez.
So 55 is the key.
55 gets you in the wonky verse.
55.
Speaking of which,
I need free
my donut auction.
Not free is key.
Something with that. At least
My donut auction is officially live. To help me get to 55 is key for the wonky verse.
Wow.
So feel free.
All right. So no
Hey,
shared here.
let me answer. In all honesty, it doesn't matter how many you have. Pay attention to the people that keep showing up on spaces and shoot them a DM, because everybody in the wonky space is about vibes.
Yeah.
And legitimately wants to celebrate your wins and help you.
Celebrate greatness.
Yeah. That's probably one of the most amazing things. And you don't have to understand what you're doing. You don't have to whatever. It's not a alpha, it's not a high low. Just ask, man, and be genuine.
Right.
It's a true community.
You're gonna find genuine people who are gonna be genuine back and help you in the best way they can, because all good people eventually meet. And I think that's where Wonky Stonks, I think that's the thing that Wonky Stonks brings to the table. Like, just hit somebody up that you hear say something of value, and you can, I'm not going to say just blindly trust, but you can definitely be pointed in the right direction to find great stuff. As a fellow boomer, my friend, it's great. It's stonks are about the community and the vibes more than about the floor price or anything else. And you really will hear genuine people give you genuine answers that you can take to the bank. And if you're just curious, just text, DM me or a few people on this stage, and we'll tell you if they're bad actors or not, because we're all in this thing together.
And you can tell over time, the bad ones get weeded out.
Yeah.
Real quick.
The good ones
All that
shine.
makes sense. Like the prior one that I got into that I made the 10% off of, that community, it is probably the most horrendous community that is out there as far as conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't want to hear the hear the name of it, but yeah, tell us why. I want to like what made it so bad.
Well, where do I start? But what? Yeah, I don't want to really like name it out, but the conversation and the ideas were very constrained to only speaking about just their NFT. And if you weren't talking about that NFT in any kind of way, wandered off into a different subject or anything, you were literally like, they would just lambaste people with cursing and, you know,
Dude, can you talk about Wonky Stonks, please?
one of their most favored words using on there is the word dick, to call each other that. You know, suck dick, you suck my dick. This just over and over and over.
What kind of
Like 12-year-old, there's like 12-year-olds in the space. And, you know, the moderator just let it go because, well, he was an asshole too. He was kind of like,
I can see why he
I don't
hesitated.
know if everybody knows.
dude? I
He's
want to
kind
know
of
what this
Archie Bunker like,
project is
you know?
because if nothing else, there's value in the comic relief.
It was not
Oh
Dino
no, there was
Dicks, I
comic
promise you that.
relief. It was entertaining to listen to from time to time, but you could tell that over time, and not even over that much time, that everything was an idea of pumping and dumping on the same people. Basically, they created a cult, like a full-on cult, and they made people believe that charts don't matter. Don't look at the charts. I mean, it was bold, and they have a collection of people that are holders, and some of them are just pumping and dumping on them. They've diluted the NFT system with like six or like six different pieces, you know, different projects, but are all connected, and about 10 rugs that go along with all that they
Wait,
stick
what's
up
the
to
name?
those same
What?
people.
Who are you talking about?
Oh man, yeah, I don't want to let.
Bro, you got to drop it at this point. You have to. Like, I want to hop in one of these spaces and just witness for myself.
God hates NFTs.
Oh, yeah. Oh no.
It was the most bizarre experience I've ever had. And like coming into here, this is like the living room. This is awesome. This is nice. The other shit was maddening.
The
Did
living
you see
room.
the
I love
same
that.
thing? Did you see the same thing I saw?
That's a
80s.
room for. That's a name for a space.
Yeah, for sure, brother. That's like that hits the soul right there. Avatava, man. What's up, brother?
Oh, not much. Just wanted to say wonkies are like the only thing I don't check. And sometimes I'm real sad that like over the last year, every time I get a little message come up on Twitter, a little message came up on Discord.
Yeah, you're getting rugged a little bit, man.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
yeah.
I can hear you better.
Okay. I just feel bad that times it didn't participate. Things weren't happening. But I'm so happy that I have the one.
Hey,
rugged
you
again.
basically are rugged, man. I'm sorry. You might want to try stepping down and coming back up, and you know, sometimes that fixes it. Like step down, leave the space, then come back into it.
By the way, thanks for the advice, 80s. I appreciate that a lot.
Of course, brother.
Hey,
For all of you. It's all about
Hey,
pure
now that we
intentions,
are
man.
Wait, real quick, Easel. Let me just say something to Beach Dog. The crazy thing is, I remember the day that you came in the space for the first time. Like it was in July. It was definitely in July. I was driving out to my cousin's bachelor party, and I'm pretty sure that I was on the phone through the car, or Bluetooth, while driving.
Yeah, that's what.
If not, that might have been your second or third, actually.
Yeah.
It
But it was
probably
one of the
was
first.
before that because I had left for Peru already, and he had
Yep.
already been in a space. So
Yeah,
it was
no,
probably
that
like
was
early
later
June.
on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you guys just nailed it. Good times.
Hey, am I working?
But you are what one of the things you do, Clay, is you say that you want to bring the crypto people over. I am one of those people. I see the light. I see that I should be here, and not give up everything else that I worked on for fucking 10 years, but I'm here because this is also part of all of the space.
I appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate having you in the community. Avatav, I'm going to give you another shot.
Yeah. Sorry, is it working now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say that I never checked the charts for wonkies. The only thing I miss was the community when I wasn't around. I kind of miss that I should have scooped up more at the floor when it was at the bottom, but I'm so happy with the ones I have. And I'm not sure how I'd part with them. Even though I know someday I might have to, if for whatever comes, but it's one thing that I've just never checked over the last year or so. I got to my 10 somehow, scraped up enough money, and to be honest, I'm priced out of my favorite things right now, and I couldn't be happier. But really, it doesn't seem to matter. It's just the thing that I feel like I missed was being around everybody, because everyone here is just here for a good reason, and it's always a different reason, but they all seem wholesome and good, and like it's really hard to find community these days. uh Church isn't as popular as it used to be, and even if you're not super religious, I still think that like it was something that people got people together regardless. And this is what's got me together with some cool people that really want to help each other in life and like in wealth and everything. So it's so awesome to be here, and I always want to be here. And when I'm not, it's because we can't be. And sometimes people go away, but they'll always come back to a place like this. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
It's absolutely beautiful, Avatar. And I think we all share that same sentiment up here. This community has been life-changing for a number of people, and the ones that are now coming in here, they're starting to see this, and they're starting to understand, I think, a little bit more beyond the veil that has been what this space has been. This is the essence of everything that we do, is coming together. And like you mentioned, we can have that separation for a period of time, but always come back home. This is a home. And like BTC always says, we're all just trying to walk each other home. Well, we're here with each other right now, walking each other home. It's a beautiful life we live. And we are right now at the most amazing opportunity in our life. And that opportunity is to have that connection with one another, that human connection. Whether you slap a badass, rare, generative art project on it, or you do something else, what you're doing is bringing the essence of what we are as human beings together and sharing love and energy.
Turbo bullish. I couldn't agree more. 80s.
Yeah, I want to say Avatava, man. Like I don't understand your vibe because where are you from? If I may ask.
Where would you, if you were a guessing man, where do you think I'm from?
I don't know, but I know you're full of love and light, man. I'm just
I'll tell you. I'll tell you full up.
you just general vicinity.
Okay, well, I grew up in Regina, Saskatchewan. It's a
fantastic
city in Canada. As an adult, I've moved out to Kelowna, British Columbia, and it's just amazing out here. The only thing I miss is, I guess, my friends and family, because it's tougher to get back home. Driving through the mountains is like a journey. It's fun, but flying's a lot better. But it's been tough flying, especially the last couple of years. So
I love
where
BC. I love BC, and it's so gorgeous. But I love your energy, and I love the stuff that you create, man. I don't know, it just sticks out, and it's really particular to each community. And the fact that you just do it and throw it out there, I'm just so bullish on all the good stuff that's coming. Like, because you have this really creative way of looking at it from a different corner that I haven't seen anybody else look at it from. And I love your part of Wonkies, and I just think it's fantastic. I just wanted to say that real quick. And Rooster, I have to ask, how badass was that donut, dude?
Bro, it was so fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking smashed it. So
Did it taste like sunshine?
It tasted, like everything in between as well.
He meant to the fucking thing, bro.
Yeah, and it can never be recreated because I already ate it. Like Banksy who, right?
Edible art.
Bullish, turbo bullish is being amazing.
It did get its first bid. Shout out to Nick T. He bid
Yes, sir.
012 on the donut.
Had
Shout
a
out to the legend.
little dust. Felt like exit liquidity. Had to place a bid.
Okay. So since we're just like bullish on me here, are you guys interested?
Whoa! We're not just bullish on you. We're bullish on the stocks.
Well, okay, but I want to talk about myself here for a minute.
All right, but just for a minute.
Well, just for a minute.
Hey, do it, brother. You're the GOAT, man. Let people see your energy, man. I felt it. Let them feel it, man. Go ahead, rock it.
Well, I already forget what I was going to ask.
You were going to say something about how you come into the space from a particular angle, and it's genius. Like, I've experienced it. It's freaking genius. You were going to say something about that.
Oh, fuck, man. I forget. I forget. Okay, when I remember what I want to talk about myself, I'll talk again.
Hey, I wanted to touch.
Actually, guys,
B-Waste, bail me out.
Hey, I'm sorry, BGC. I hate doing this, man. I got to get some sleep, unfortunately / fortunately.
Hey, thank you.
So as much as I've enjoyed the conversation, I think I need to go ahead and cut it off.
Much love, man. Have a beautiful evening.
Appreciate it, y'all. Take it easy. It has been fun.
Peace.